Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be telling the story of how I told everybody that I was pregnant. So I guess I'm going to start with who I told first and just go kind of in order. So I told my boyfriend first, obviously, because he knew I was taking the test. So he was fully aware there was going to be an answer pretty soon. So basically, as soon as I took the test, I waited the 3 minutes or whatever. And then once it came up as positive, I texted him because he was waiting in my room and I was in the bathroom. And I texted him and I said, come here. And so he just came to the bathroom and I just kind of pointed at it, and that was pretty much it. Like, we were just kind of like, oh, okay. That's not what we were expecting, but okay. But I did get a pack of 2, so I said, I'm gonna take the other one in the morning with the fresh pee or whatever. But I was like, it did come out positive, so I mean, I'm expecting the morning one to also come out positive, but I wanted to be sure. So I was like, we won't worry like too much. Like, we both kind of knew, obviously, yeah, I was pregnant, but we didn't want to have to worry about telling anybody or getting too worked up about it or anything until the second test confirmed it, just for 2 positives type thing. But yeah, that was how I told him. So after the test came out positive, I actually told 2 of my best friends, like pretty much at the same time as I told him. I just kind of Snapchatted them a picture of it and was like, yeah, this is the results, because they both knew that I was taking a test. So yeah, that's how I told them, I guess. They were both kind of like, oh wow, wasn't expecting that. Like, the one called me and was like, do you know what that means? And I was like, yeah. And I mean, it wasn't like a bad thing. Like, nobody was upset or mad or anything. It was just kind of like everyone was shocked and like excited, kind of like just from the start. But so that's how I told 2 of my best friends, I guess, at the same time as I told my boyfriend, I guess. So then the next person that I told was my mom, and I was really scared to do that, and I don't know why, because I mean, I've known my whole entire life that like she's not the type of person to be like upset or angry about that kind of stuff, especially with me being 20 and in a relationship with the same guy for 7 years. So I mean, it wasn't like a bad situation or anything. It was pretty like normal, average, I guess. So I don't know why I was so worried to tell her. I think it was just once I told her and told everybody, it was just very real, and I guess there could have been a bad reaction that I just like wasn't ready for, I guess. But even all my friends told me, they're like, oh, she's not gonna be mad, like, just don't worry about it, just do it, you're fine. And even I knew, I was like, I know, like, she's not gonna be mad, I'm just scared to do it, because it's a big thing telling someone, especially your mom, that you're pregnant, because I'm only 20 and it wasn't planned. So I mean, it's not like I was like, oh yeah, we're trying for a baby, and it was like an all exciting time. It was just a complete surprise and shock to me, so especially my family. But the way that I told her was, I went to the store and I bought 3 different types of Reese's chocolate bars, like the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, Reese's Pieces, and then a Reese O. Henry, because she loves chocolate bars and Reese is her favorite. So I was like, gotta butter her up for this, give her some chocolate, make it better. But so I had the chocolate bars in the bag from the store, and then I took the outfit that she brought me home from the hospital in, which was in my baby box in my room, and I just wrapped the 2 positive tests in the baby outfit and just put it in the bag with the chocolate bars. And I found out on Wednesday was the day that I took the first test around like 4 p.m. And then Thursday morning, I took the second test that came out also positive, clearly. And I had to work on Thursday, and our schedules just didn't really line up, because I was working when she was at home, and when she was working, I was at home. So I didn't tell her on Thursday. I waited until Friday, and as soon as I heard her wake up in the morning, I waited for her to go downstairs to start getting herself like breakfast and all that. And it was like 8 a.m. and I just went downstairs with the bag and just gave it to her. I was like, got you something. And she was like, oh, like, what is this? And opened it and like unwrapped the little outfit and saw the test and just got like instantly excited and was like, I'm gonna be a grandma. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I knew the reaction wasn't gonna be bad, but I'm just glad it was like really good. So she was just like really excited right from the start and was like, have you told your sisters? And I was like, no, I was worried that they would tell you because I wanted to be the one to do it, and I wasn't sure if one of them would slip it out or just she'd be able to tell something was like up, because you know that's something that moms are able to tell. So I waited to tell her first and then to tell my sisters. So once she knew, it was just okay, time to tell everybody else, because especially since she had a good reaction, I was like, okay, yeah, like it's time to tell everybody else. So the way I told my one sister was I basically just went in her room and showed her the baby outfit. I like woke her up first because it was early and she was still asleep, and I showed her the baby outfit that I was brought home in, and I was like, oh, what do you think of this? And she didn't really catch on at first because I mean she did just get woken up and was like, what are you doing in here? Like, quit playing, what are you doing? And so stop. And so then I just kind of showed her the test, or both of them, and was like, look at these. And she's like, oh, is that like you? And I was like, yeah, me. And so she was just kind of like, oh my God, like really? And was like really like shocked and like kind of excited, but also like still very tired, and was like, can I go back to sleep now? And so before I left her room though, I FaceTimed my other sister who was in Grand Bend at a friend's house, and apparently she had been like having a bad day or whatever, or bad morning, because she didn't get much sleep, but she had to go to work or whatever. So she was like grumpy. So my mom was like, oh, FaceTime her and tell her like it'll make her day so much better. So I FaceTimed her, and I just like, when she answered, I just kind of had it like flipped around to the positive tests, and she was just kind of like, oh my God, and started freaking out. She started just bawling her eyes out. She was so excited because she had been like asking for this for so long. Like, obviously, like she was serious, but she didn't actually think anything was gonna come of it. Like, she wasn't expecting me to actually be like, okay, yeah, I'll have a baby. But she just like loves babies, so she was like, oh my God, have a baby, because she's 16. And so once she saw the positive tests and knew that I was, she started crying. It was so excited and just so pumped, and like day equal better made. It was a better day for her, but she was so excited and just couldn't stop crying, and it was pretty funny. I thought it was funny, but she was definitely like the most excited. Like, just, it was like the best day ever for her. And I was like, okay, this is going well, like telling everybody it's going really well. So that's how I told both of my sisters. So the last person that I had to tell my family, like my immediate family, was my dad, but I had to wait for him to get home from work, obviously, because I wasn't able to like text him anything like that, or like FaceTime anything like that. I was like, oh, I gotta do this in person. Like, how should I do it though? And so my mom had the good idea of taking the Oh Henry chocolate bar and like covering up the Henry part with like a piece of paper and writing like grandpa on it. So that is how I like told him, I guess. But basically me and my boyfriend went to London to get prenatal vitamins and just some stuff. So when we got back, he was home, and I guess he was gonna be leaving to go get something or whatever. So, but my mom kept saying like, oh, just wait, like Teagan wants to show you something. And so he was just like sitting on the porch like, okay, like I'm waiting. And so then I got home and I went in and got the chocolate bar, and me and my boyfriend were just on the porch with my mom and him, and I just like gave it to him. And at first he was like, oh, like, is Pippa having babies? And that's my dog, who is fixed. So no, not the dog. And I was just kind of like, no, not Pippa. And then he like realized and kind of got like teary-eyed and was just like excited and like stood up and like hugged both of us, like me and my boyfriend, and was just like, oh, like congrats and stuff, and was all excited. And I was like, oh, good, like this all went really well. Like telling everybody just went so well and so smooth. So I'm really glad that that went so well. But another person that I told that I thought was pretty funny was another one of my friends, and she had texted me actually asking like, oh, like, can we go out for like lunch soon or whatever, like we should go do sushi. And this responded, I was like, well, I can't have sushi. And she also just had wanted me to have a baby for so long, like she just loves babies too. And so she was like, why? And so then I just sent her pictures of the 2 positive pregnancy tests, and she just like lost it, was freaking out and was like, oh my god, I'm crying, are you serious, like this isn't a joke? And I was like, no, like I'm not kidding, this is serious, like I actually am. And so she was very excited and was like, okay, then we can go for food like somewhere else, like just so excited. And yeah, it was, everybody took it really, really well. So thankfully that was not nearly as hard as it could have been, or like as bad as it could have been. But no, it was really good. And the way that my boyfriend told his parents was they were having like a fire or whatever, and so he was there and was like, oh, like let me take a picture of you guys at the fire or whatever, and like started recording on his phone. And then was just like was like, okay, like say cheese or whatever. And then when they were like standing there ready, he was just like, are you ready to be grandparents, or said something along that. And they were just kind of like, huh? And then he was like, are you ready to be grandparents? And then they were like, oh, are you like serious, or are you kidding? And he was like, no, like I'm serious. And then he also like he ended the video because you couldn't really hear from like the fire crackling and all that anyways, and they were like pretty far back. But then after he like showed them the pictures of the positive tests and all that, and just kind of was like, no, like it's actually like for real, like I'm not kidding, like it's not a joke. And then they were like excited and happy too, and it just was overall a good reaction from my parents, his parents, my sisters. His sister was also very excited. The way we told her, it was kind of, I feel like she kind of knew something was coming, because she had actually stopped to get melatonin or whatever from me at my house beforehand, and me and my boyfriend were like, oh, like we gotta tell her, but we didn't think that her boyfriend was, or fiance was with her or whatever, but he was. And then so we just like weren't ready at the time, so when they left we just followed them back to their place, which like it was like 10 o'clock at night, so it was kind of weird. We got there right after them, and she was like, what are you guys doing, like you forget something, or like did we forget something? And so then he was just kind of like, oh, like how do you feel about being an aunt? And then she was like, no, like you're kidding. And he was like, nope, like not kidding, like it's for real. And then we also showed her the pictures, and she was like, oh my god, like that's crazy, and was like all excited, and was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be an aunt, and like all that. And her fiance was also like, oh my god, congrats, and all that. So that's exciting. Everybody took it really well, and it was just, it was like scary to tell people, but once it was out, I was just like, oh, thank god. Like it was just so relieving. Do you like it in here? This is her like first time being in here for a long time, and all the smells, she just is enjoying it, I think, and also very confused. So yeah, go back to sniffing all your stuff. But yeah, anyways, so it was good. Telling everybody went really well. Everybody was really excited, and so yeah, thankfully it was a good time and everything went really smooth. But yeah, so that is the stories of how I told all of like our immediate family, like parents and siblings and a couple of my close friends. But so yeah, that's all for today's video. Comment below what else you would like me to film or post or whatever. I might like vlog a bit tomorrow. But no, for real, I might like vlog a little bit tomorrow, because I'm going to this like modern mom show or whatever, and I've never been to one before, so I might take some videos or like vlog it a bit. I don't know, we'll see. I had a doctor's appointment today, but I forgot to vlog any of it, so oops. But yeah, so I'll see you next time. don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you're also expecting or like a young mom or anything, like, comment, let's be friends. But other than that, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you next time.